Go live. Should be going live here soon.
Okay.
I think we're live now. Can everybody hear me okay? Sorry, everyone. We had some technical difficulties.
I don't know what you were doing.
Well, so I had Chrome was using the YouTube Live, and whenever I went to do the live custom stream from Zoom, it was opening up Safari. It was opening up Safari. So that's what it was doing. So anyway, I had to make Chrome. Yeah, I had to open up Chrome and make it the default instead of Safari because
Okay.
because it was using both of them at the same time. And it was confused. Well, I kind of knew what was going on. I just had to fix it.
And meanwhile, I think the loud noise, I was just saying, I live out in the country, right? So in theory, it's supposed to be good and quiet, right?
Right.
But I realized that that's just an aspirational goal. So 2 seconds ago, we had the fire whistle going off, and now, the neighbor would pick this moment to mow, and his mower like sounds like a Cessna coming in for a landing, and then it drowns out like not only any ability to talk but even to think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sounds like everybody can hear you just fine. So I don't know if I think Lee has shared this before on one of the streams, but Lee helped do some of the writing and a lot of the research for 500 Nations, which was a documentary that Kevin Costner was a part of. Um, I think it's 4 parts, right?
eight
8 parts. Oh gosh, I was way off then. I thought it was at first.
just always on PBS.
Mhm, mhm.
And remember back when we just had TV? So the three networks, they never had a documentary on a major network. I mean, it just never happened. And so Kevin landed a deal where we had 8-part miniseries documentary on CBS. So it's the first time that it ever really happened. It was kind of like Roots, except Roots was, I mean, this was documentary, not a film.
Mhm, mhm. That was probably exciting times back then when you got to work on that.
Yeah, did you say good times or what?
Exciting times, exciting times. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me, Lee? Yes, I am.
Oh my God, I yes I am, and that's the first thing I heard.
What I said that was some exciting times back then when you got to work with that.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, and well, Hollywood is exciting, or it can be, or it was. I don't know what to say, but I think I've often wondered, like how do you express what that was like? I think more than anything else, and I think that relates to the treasure because I think when I was working out there, my number one emotion was hope. Like you could do anything. It was like things right around the corner that were happening, and I felt like that with the treasure again. It's like, what are the odds that any of us are going to find it? And yet, you have this just driving hope, like anything's possible. It could happen. I like that feeling. It's a great feeling.
Mhm.
Kind of an addictive feeling.
Yeah, I know you didn't want to be on too long tonight, so we won't make you go into all the details on the documentary, but I know you mentioned to me that, hindsight's 2020 and you didn't get Kevin Costner's autograph like you wish you could have.
Well, you never do, right? You never do. I mean, I was best friends with some other actors out there, and I never thought to say, oh, hey, by the way, you know, you, you have a normal relationship, not like something else. So
Yeah,
you just
well,
want to try to be normal, especially because they're surrounded by not normal. So
right,
you want to
right.
try to provide that like, normal.
Oh,
That's what that.
I completely agree. You kind of get, I mean, you're starstruck, but on the other hand, you don't want to be that person. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because they're surrounded by those people. So you just want to be normal. And then by being quote unquote normal, then you don't ask for things like, oh, and by the way, FYI, I'd love to have your autograph, please. So yeah, yeah,
So
strange.
you recently had conversation with somebody that we're all familiar with.
Well, yes. So that was a good segue in there. So yes, I decided that I wanted to talk to Shiloh, and so I called him up, and we talked for about 10 minutes. And wow, what a wonderful guy he is. Boy, Forrest must be so proud, and his parents must be so proud. And I actually, I had three reasons why I wanted to call. I really, legitimately am interested in old wood, really.
Right.
And by the way, Shiloh, if you're listening, I didn't get the price sheet because I wanted to find out, how much each kind cost, that kind of thing. But I had two other reasons, and one of the reasons was that Forrest had invited me to come out and look at his Indian collection. And talk about hindsight, right? I mean, I worked so hard. I have the equivalent of several jobs in a way. And so when you have your vacation, you're going to go out and look for the treasure. And now, if you ask me, I would say the treasure was Forrest. You know,
Hmm.
so I'm out there instead looking for the treasure, thinking that stupidly, oh, I could go by like next year, And then of course he died, and I didn't ever get to see the Indian things, and um, I think we would have had a lot in common because I could just look at the moccasins or the beadwork, know exactly what Indian nation it was too. So he would have probably enjoyed that, and I would have definitely enjoyed it. So I wanted to find out because in all the times we talked to Shiloh, or anybody talks and relays it, nobody ever says like, "What did he do with all the Indian stuff?" And so I wanted to ask him. I didn't think it had all been sold, and I wondered, where did it go? Did it get split up? Who has it? Where is it? And Shiloh said he still has most of it. So I'm really glad, you know.
Yeah, because
So I informed him that if I had money, I would have bought the house and turned it into a museum and put all that stuff in it. Which, in order to do that, I would need to find the treasure. So it's kind of circular, right?
right, right, right.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
I
yeah.
think Forrest I think
What did we?
Forrest yeah. I
You know.
think Forrest did unload some of his things years ago. But I'm
Yeah,
sure Shiloh has a lot of it though.
yeah, yeah, a ton of stuff. Maybe everyone should buy some wood, so that then Shiloh doesn't have to sell the house and he could turn it into a museum. How's that sound? We
Yeah,
all bought how many links of wood would we have to buy collectively?
quite a bit.
Uh, but
Yes, that's
I had a great conversation with him. My gosh, what a personable person he is. How many times in your life when you talk to people, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think the majority of people are just sort of, that you meet are just sort of dull. I mean, they're okay, but once in a while you meet someone that's just brimming with personality, and and focused on you. Again, when you're talking to people, 9 out of 10 people that you talk to, you get this feeling that maybe they're doing something else and they're only half hearing you, and they're answering like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But Shiloh is very in tune. He's bright, bright, sharp as a tack. And I thought, wow, he's definitely chip off the old block. And anybody who ever thought that Forrest, which I've heard a few opinions once in a while that, oh, he's just sort of old, doddering kind of guy. It's like, I think you have not understood Forrest, because I think Forrest was up there in the genius category. And
Mhm.
so anyway, I was really impressed with Shiloh. I thought, my gosh, great, great, great person.
Yeah.
I would think.
Well, I had mentioned to you, so
Anyway,
it'll be interesting if Shiloh gets back to you with the prices, because I would be interested. So I don't have to bother him. But I was telling you that I have
okay.
our foyer that
Well, I may have to call him back to get the price list.
you may have to. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a
there's
great, beautiful product. But at the same time, wouldn't it also feel like they have a little bit of the chase with you all the time? They have like a floor, something that's hardwood floor that's been put in that's old wood. I mean, you feel like you had a bit of Forrest and the whole family, the whole gang in your house on the floor.
right. Well, we have the foyer that comes into our house, and it's a small little foyer. It's only like it's a little area that has this tile, and I've been wanting to get rid of that tile, and I was having that thought one day, like, man, wouldn't that be cool to get a hold of Shiloh and get some of the wood that they use. And I've actually researched it on their website. And when I was out in Santa Fe last year, yeah, last year, I was hoping that the showroom was still open, but the showroom is.
He doesn't have a showroom. By the way, you're cutting in and out again.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm turning my phone so they can hear you better. Can you hear me okay?
I'm just not. I'm only hearing every word of yours. I want to make sure they can hear you.
Well, they can hear me. It's just probably it's because of the phone. Can you hear me
Okay.
okay?
So I think you were saying that there was a showroom. There was a showroom.
They used to have a showroom in Santa Fe because the actual shop is not in Santa Fe. Um, I th
Oh, where is it?
it's is it Las Vegas, Las Vegas, which
Yeah.
is I can't remember
And
the name of the place now.
I think that
Um, yeah,
the last and only time I ever went to Las Vegas was when Kevin was shooting a movie out there because Wyatt Earp and I went out to the set. So
nice.
all roads lead to Las Vegas, huh?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
Mexico.
Isn't that interesting? So did
Now I can hear
Shiloh,
you.
so did, can you hear me now?
I heard me now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Now
me?
he's smiling again.
Well, I don't know what's going on. Bad connection.
I heard what's going on.
Can you hear me? Technical difficulties, people. So can you hear me, Lee?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Did you hear me okay there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're just having some issues. So did Shiloh give you any idea of fun and answers? Yeah, we could try that. That's a long string though, from where you're at to where I'm at. Yeah. Question.
About that.
No, sun,
That must be how far north I am right now.
right. No, the sun doesn't go down till about 8:30. No, no, no.
Yeah.
No, we still have another hour and probably 30 minutes of sun.
You're still breaking up a bit.
I don't know what it is. It could be maybe because I'm in the basement, honestly.
Come out of the basement.
Yeah. This is where I have this is my area. The basement's kind of my area. Huh.
Okay. Now you're coming loud and clear right now.
Okay. So did Shiloh give
Maybe you
you,
moved over to still. Did you?
no, I didn't. I haven't moved. I just kind of moved my phone a little bit. Um, did Shiloh give you did Shiloh give you any indication of fun and answers?
Oh, well, that was the third reason. Yeah, that was the third reason that I wanted to talk to, which everyone who's listening will probably a collective scream, which I'll be able to hear from here. But I might be the only person left who doesn't want the 9 clues given out. And the reason why is I'm not done trying to solve the riddle. You know, this is like the best mystery I've ever encountered. And I don't want it spoon fed to me yet because I'm not quite done, you know? And so I said to him, listen, you're not going to give out like the answer to where this treasure was, right? But now, Clay, I can hear the yelling, and because I'm not done, I'm not ready yet, and I was hoping you're not. That's all I wanted to know. And I think he said, I think he said, no, no. He goes, there's going to be a couple of fun things, but I think I think he indicated that he wasn't going to tell where it was. So I hope not. Although, if he wants to say that it's at, Yellowstone, that's fine because I don't think it's there. So, and that was the other thing too. I mean, we really both got to laughing because I had introduced myself and I said I'm a searcher. And the minute you say that, you feel compelled to say that you're normal, right? Because, well, quite honestly, let's look at our community. So I said, like I'm not like one of those crazy people. And then right after that, I said something about, well, we talked about the treasure, and he said, well, it's over. And I said, well, it's really not. I said, you're wrong. No, it's still out there. And then we both burst out laughing because I realized I just blew my, I just, I had just proclaimed that I was completely normal, and yet I'm still one of the few people that think that it's still out there. So anyway, he burst out laughing, and so did I. It was like, that was really funny. But so, but other than that, no, you're wrong. He might just be uninformed. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that the 9 clues weren't quite coming out yet. Am I the last searcher? Like, am I going to go down in history as the last searcher?
I don't know. It depends. Are you going to catch up with the rest of us?
I'm not done searching. So, I mean, I would have to be one more boots on the ground. But I'm just actually literally wondering if now I am the last remaining searcher.
No, I don't think you are. There's several. Yeah, there's others that are out there. Yeah. You're still not convinced, right? Did did Shiloh mention any jars?
It's like getting windy. Well, I am having fun. I'm having a great time. So,
Yeah, it sounded like he took it really well.
I feel like I had a really exciting life at one point, and then I took a bit of a turn, like I think many of us do. And Forrest, jump started my whole life back into the exciting channel again. And I said, I miss him. And he said the most touching thing. He said, I miss him too. He's my best friend. And I thought, that's true. Wow. I mean, for one thing, how lucky they both were, because how many people, like my grandparents, didn't even live near me. So, how lucky that was, one thing, but then how incredible they were and what a great relationship they had. What a tribute, So I thought that was incredible thing to say. But,
Yeah, I was real close.
anyhow,
I was real close to my grandfather on my mom's side. He
what
pa
you cut out.
he passed. Yeah. Well, no, I'm letting you talk, so it's kind of I'm giving you the platform to talk. Can you hear me okay? No, that's okay. What I was saying was, yeah,
What a gift. Oh, and he made one funny comment. He said, I thought really it would be like dying out. It would be over. And I said, oh, over. I hate to disappoint you or be the bearer of bad news. But I said, it's not going to be over because we're a community now. And I said, in the same way that people like country western, and so they kind of form a group. I said, well, our group is that we've all been through this incredible experience. And what makes it so fun for me is that everyone's experience was different, but the same. And so, of course, we'll probably, as long as we're alive, we'll still be a group because we all went through this crazy madcap adventure. And I said, now we like talking to each other about it. And, so he had to, with a bit of horror, I think he realized that, oh, yeah, that's true. But I think another part of himself is still enjoying this because otherwise he wouldn't be so putting, about the fun things that are coming.
right. Well, did he mention jars?
Yeah.
Did he mention jars?
Yeah, maybe jars. But I don't think that's bigger
Yeah.
things.
Well,
It's bigger.
I remember when I
But
first,
not too big.
yeah.
Still don't want the answer out there yet.
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, Lee?
I'd love to see what everybody thinks about that. Shut up.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. So what I was, well, I lost my train of thought now. Go figure.
See, I lost my blank. Now I'm sitting here wondering, what did you lose?
Well, no, I was just, you were talking about their relationship, and it reminded me of the relationship I had with my grandfather on my mom's side, because in the summertime, I would spend all summer long with my grandfather. And, he passed away at 55 when he in 85. So, you know, so yeah, I that was kind of devastating for me because I was like, wow, somebody that I'd spent, a big part of my life with in the summertime, I never saw my friends in the summertime because they were always out doing stuff and, you know, going to the pool and doing things in the city. And I was always out with my grandfather doing things. But I think that made me a better person for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Um,
We're all drawn in here for similar reasons. I mean, obviously, we all wanted to solve a good riddle. But that was what drew me in. I was like, I am going to do this. I'm going to do this. But the other thing is, I mean, yes, the relationship that Forrest created with his family, his friends, and even the community, that's another huge draw.
right, right.
I think there are certain people in the world that, when they die, create such an enormous hole in your life for whatever reason. I live in right now I'm in a small community, and when somebody dies, I mean, it's always bad, but then there's somebody that dies, and it's just, I don't know, it cuts out like half of the world that you used to know. And I feel like that's true of Forrest. But man, the flip side is, what a great life you will and forever have with your grandfather, and that Shiloh had with his grandfather, and that we got to share, his grandfather.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Huh.
Well, I'm just glad you got to, you didn't call anticipating to talk to Shiloh, but it was kind of nice that he was the one that answered the phone.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. And we also, I mean, we also talked about, it's kind of interesting because the Chase community is a lot like any community, right? You've got, um, some people that are, the top small percentage that are really kind of like outstanding, and a small percentage at the bottom that are kind of bad, and then a big middle that are just, great people. So you got, I mean, it's true of any community anywhere, isn't it? So
Right, right.
sometimes I think that we let the bad, people sour it. But the truth of the matter is, man, have we all been, I think, enriched? I think this has just been the greatest experience. I've loved every minute of it.
Hmm.
Haven't you?
Oh yeah, it's definitely changed me in many different ways, honestly.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
I
Me
just
too.
I shared with you recently that, you know, I found these arrowheads out back behind where we live at here. Um, and not too far, there's an Indian burial mound. Anyways, long story short, a friend of mine that I work with who lives in Boonville, Missouri, in south of Boonville along I-70 there, his property, he found a rock that looks like a bird. I'll have to show you I'll
Oh,
show pictures sometime. But anyway, it's when he was telling me, I was like, I've got to see it to believe it. If it's a rock that looks like a bird. And it had some indentations in the bottom of it, like it had been wallered out. It was probably an inch deep too. Anyway, he brought it in, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty interesting. I said, let me contact one of the anthropologists at the University of Missouri here and let's see if we can meet up with him sometime and we'll kind of share what we found. I'm sure he would be interested in what we have found because it's local history.
Yeah.
And anyway,
It'll
last
be
week, go ahead.
going.
Last week we met up with him and it was on my birthday. And what was interesting was, we were showing him our arrowheads, we were showing him the stuff that we had. And we get done, we're talking about everything and we get done and I mentioned to him about the Clovis cache owned by Forrest Fenn. I said, "Hey, have you heard of that?" He goes, "Not only have I heard of Forrest Fenn, I've actually met Forrest Fenn." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And I looked at my buddy and he's like, "Oh, he's going to geek out any minute right now."
It's still happening. That's the problem. It's still happening. There's connections still continually.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, Lee. Sorry. Did you get any of that?
No, no, I meant there's connections to Florence.
Oh, oh,
Maybe.
oh,
That's
I
what I
thought you were
meant.
talking about the phone connection.
Still happening. Maybe it's always going to keep happening to all of us. It just keeps
Yeah.
happening.
Oh, I agree.
But, Elliot, all these sort of metaphysical connections that we all have now.
Well, and that's part of my story also, that's part of my spiritual chase story, how it all started and where I ended up. It's that's a lot of my story too. But anyway, for another time. What's
Okay.
that? I should probably do that sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. And meanwhile, those that bird effigy and things, you should take a picture and send it out to the Missouri tribal historian. They might be interested in a picture
Yeah.
knowing about it.
Yeah. The anthropologist has pictures and stuff that we talk to. And so because he knows Forrest, what's that? He thought it was from like he thought it was from like the woodland area. But it was definitely local, and not to mention that my buddy found something else recently too that we're going to go back, and I'm going to take my pottery piece that I've got up here, and I'm going to show him that pottery piece because he knew about San Lazaro and stuff. So
Yeah.
and he gave Forrest high praises for what he did, and he said a lot. He kind of got Forrest got a bad rap for a lot of PhDs gave him a bad rap for what he was doing. But he's thought Forrest did the right thing. He was doing the right thing.
That was just elitism anyway, just because Forrest didn't have a PhD in archaeology.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's always the way, right? You can't do this
Right.
because you're not. It's the society that this is. You can't do anything unless if you have a degree.
Yes.
That's
So someday I would like to go back out to Santa Fe and actually, you can actually sign up for a tour of San Lazaro Pueblo out there.
I still want to know, I should ask that. I really should have asked Shiloh that. Who owns that now? That's what I would like to know. I think, doesn't the family still own it, the trust?
I don't know. I don't know who owns. I don't know where that property is sitting at right now.
And some of that stuff got auctioned off, and I was having apoplexy because I thought that some of the Tewa nations out there should have bought it. It should go into, there's museums out there, or it doesn't even have to be in a museum, just put back into use. But I
Right.
thought that I would have nations, especially the ones that they, casinos with the money, would have, and maybe nobody reached out to them because that would be the first thing I would do if I were selling something like that.
Well, funny thing is I sent Galaxy a link and he's like, I forgot. He's like, I forgot to message you. sorry for leaving you hanging, but anyway, he's busy with his son, so
So he's not coming on?
probably not.
Oh,
Which is
well,
which is cool, you know.
I,
He's spending time with his son. That's more important, you know.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, anyway,
Well, I'm going to let you go because I know you had some other things to go. And
yeah,
I'm glad
yeah, I have to get back to work after
I'm
my
glad you found your
surgery.
dog Lake. I'm glad you found your dog Lake.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my highly traumatic week because my dog and I got separated in the woods on Monday, and so I put my work aside looking for the dog. Like literally, been in the woods. Every once in a while I stagger out to civilization and then head back into the woods to try to find the dog. And finally got her back today. Thank God. You know,
Yeah, because
she's
you
getting a
were,
little shaken up.
yeah, I could tell from your emails you were pretty shaken up. And I was like, hey, she's gonna make it back somehow, some way. Dogs always do, usually.
Yeah.
I was,
I've never get lost before. I'm sitting here on the calendar, the day that I die. It's like I felt so terrible because it's the not only do you miss them, but it's the not knowing. I was imagining like 52 different horrible ways that she could have met her end. It turns out I have a very vivid imagination. But so anyway, finally got her back. But because of that, now I have to go back to work at this ungodly hour
Mhm.
and try to catch up.
So before I let you go, um, Treasure Warriors was in chat and said, thank Lee for confirming from Shiloh that the fun things are on the way.
Some things are on the way, and I don't think, unless if I totally misunderstood him, but I think they're not going to be the night.
Yeah.
I think. Tell him thank you for thanking me.
Yeah. She says, thank
Yeah.
you for thanking her.
Okay.
Well, I'm,
Thank him for thanking me for thanking him.
yeah, yeah.
How's that? Okay. All right.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna run tomorrow.
okay. More, it's probably going to be short because after I get off here, I'm going to show a few things and that's probably about it. So
Okay.
I'll try
All right.
if I can, I'll try to um find some of those rock pictures and maybe show those real quick. It's in my email, so I could show that pretty easy through my email.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Why is it Murphy's Law that now that I'm getting off, I can hear you perfectly?
I don't know.
Did you figure?
Well, I
Yeah.
tell you what, what we should have done one of these evenings, what I'll do is I'll call you while I'm on Zoom and you can dial me I can call you through the computer. Because I have a
Yeah.
feeling that's probably the better way to do this than through the phone, but
Yeah. And if I could just simply have one crisis after another stop happening, I could probably find the time to download Zoom, right? Well, what are the odds of that? What are the odds of a calm life returning? You know?
right. Well, and I told you, I'm a graphic designer during the day, so I'm on the computer all day long. It's kind of the last thing I want to do when I get home is turn on another computer. You know, uh, it's like when my wife got home, I was like, I'm excited to go live, but on the other hand, I don't know, it's just such a chore. And of
Yeah.
course, then we
Yeah.
were having technical difficulties getting in, so
Well, yes, your whole audience here missed the horror we're going through. Like, I don't know, it was like a half an hour before we could get it on. But
well,
anyway,
it took me a minute, but then I realized, wait a minute, it's got Safari and Chrome open at the same time. So it was trying to link through a Safari for the YouTube live, and it was supposed to be going through the Chrome. So that's where the issue was coming from.
yeah, they were interacting with
Yeah.
each other.
Anyway,
Uh,
have a good evening. Enjoy your time with Lake, and I guess put her on a long collar
what, now it cut out again. And enjoy my time with Blake and what?
and put a long collar on her.
Oh, you're not kidding. kidding. I'm not only going to put I'm going to put a tracker on her. So I think it's going to stick close to me, as close as a burr for like the next who knows how long.
Oh, I
And I
bet.
think she got as upset as I did. You know, like a little kid, right? They accidentally lose his mom, and then everyone's traumatized, the whole family.
Right.
So that's what happened here. Yeah.
All righty, Lee. We'll let you
Anyway.
go. Thanks for fighting through the technical difficulties with me.
Yeah, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
So,
sorry about the phone issues.
okay.
Yes, good night.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, everybody, just me and you. Because looks like Galaxy's not going to join. He was going to join, but he forgot. He's busy with his son. That's a good thing. I wouldn't want to be on with me either. So something I need to share a few things. One is an email. Maybe you guys want to see some stoof.com email that I got back in June of last year. Anybody want to see that? Let's see if we can find it. Got to do a search for it. Hang tight with me, people. So I don't want to get all the information, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this so that you all can see. Just bear with me here. Can't show everything. Okay, let's share this. Everybody see this? I assume you can because it's highlighted in green. So this is from Bismarck. This was actually, let's see. This was Wednesday, June 28th of 2023 is when this was. It says, hello, Brian. I've recently watched a video of yours where you discussed stoof.com. Your findings were very interesting, so I started to look into it as well. Jack having the website at one time and being a stand-in made me beyond curious. I want to want I went to the Wayback Machine and looked things over, but the thing that shocked me was what there is now. You said in the video if you went to stoof.com, it went to China or something. But when I did, it shows a picture and is an audio file on it. It plays the same song Ben was playing on his channel a few weeks ago. Coincidence? I doubt that. What do you think is going on with this? So this was sent to me by somebody named Bismarck on June 28th of last year, which is like right about the same time the site went live, or maybe it's the same date it went live. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. So there's actually a Bismarck on um, Discord that I noticed, and they've never ever messaged or anything. So for all you people that's interested in stoof.com, that might be a little, I don't know, maybe it's nothing. Maybe Ben can speak more to that on his show or something now that I've dropped that little tidbit, because I've I've only shared that with Hammer Time. Because we met up and I shared a few things with him that, you know, I don't I don't get much into the stoof.com except anything that I see, I kind of point out on Discord, or I'll let Hammer Time know about it because we do talk a little bit. Yeah, Bismarck is sus, obviously. Gosh, it scared me. I heard that noise. I thought it was something. It was my cat. So yeah, and I went kind of back and forth with Bismarck because I didn't understand what he was. Because I was like, wait a minute. When I go, I don't know what you're talking about on the Wayback Machine. Nothing shows up, and then I realized, wait a minute. He's not talking about through the Wayback Machine. You just go straight to stoof.com, and there it is. And he was right. So I don't know, people. Does Bismarck have something to do with this? I don't know. Because I've emailed Bismarck several times since then, and they don't return my emails. And so the what do you call that? Uh Emoji? No. What's it called? The little icon, it's a fox. So that's pretty interesting. I thought that was pretty sly. Sly like a fox. Oh yes, Jeep Girl, Jody. Yeah, you're welcome. Whoops. I'm sitting here trying to type and trying to carry a conversation. I'm not good at this like Ben is. This is actually a little out of my element. I'm not, I mean, I can be social, but to put myself out live like this is pretty scary in my neck of the wood. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Was there something else I was supposed to share? Let's see. I guess I could share. Was there something else I said I was going to share? I'm trying to find, give me a second here. I'm trying to find these other pictures. I'm going to download these pictures so y'all can see them with this bird rock. Maybe somebody out there has seen something like it. We had never seen anything like it before. So pretty interesting. It's one of those things you have to see. Oh, shoot. What did I just do? Okay, there we go. Let me get these open and I'll share with you. One, two, three. There should be one more. Okay, share screen. So here's the first one. You can actually hold this thing in your hand. This is the one we went to go see the um, professor at University of Missouri. We were showing him that. That's one of them. This is the underneath side of it. This is the other. This is where it's been wallered out on the bottom. So Todd Van Poel is the gentleman's name that we went to go see. He thought that that's something you hold in your hand, maybe use as a grinder, to grind seeds up or grind something up, and then, get it broken down pretty good with the beak of the bird beak. And then in here, you would really grind it down really good. That was one guess. The other guess is it could be like a totem piece, possibly. Could be like a top for a cane, possibly. A little something I share. How's everybody doing in chat? Anything you all want me to share? I shared my stoof.com. Let's see. Let's see. Anything good in chat? Any questions you guys have for me? How's that? Because tonight you just get me. So, I mean, I could talk about things that are going on, but what good does it do? Everybody's heard the same thing over and over and over. Share the color FOIA pictures. Oh, you're so funny, Hooli. I don't have color pictures. Okay, while I'm doing this, here, while I'm doing this, I'll go to my FOIA and check it. FBI Vault. Let's just see. Let's just see what it says here. I'll tell you what it says. Surely you can trust me. Now, if I remember my FOIA number, I've checked it so many dang times, I should remember it. Okay, submit. It says the FBI's FOIPA program has identified potential responsive information to your request and awaits assignment to a government information specialist, GIS, for further processing. So what's really weird about that is that's not what it has said before. That's what it said in the very beginning. So I don't know what's going on. But I find it interesting that I got the black and white pictures, but when I've asked for the color pictures, one of the times I checked on the FOIPA request, it said, well, I've got it on my phone. Maybe I should, no, I don't know. I got it on my phone somewhere here. Maybe I could send it to my email so you can see it. It said, oh my gosh, it's in one of my 15,000 pictures here. That's one thing about the chase I've noticed is my screenshots. Oh my gosh. I can't tell how many screenshots I have. Talk amongst yourself while I do this. Brian, legit question. Does any of your FOIPA info contain information about Secret Service agents present at the raid? No. My FOIPA request was pretty simple, pretty basic. The first one I did, there was something in the wording I had to change the second time around. And then that's when I realized, oh, shoot, I'm getting something then out of this one. And that's when I think I received a letter first, and it said I would be receiving, I don't know if I might have said CD. It might have said a CD. It wasn't gonna be by email. It was going to be electronic file like on a CD. And I was completely shocked. Matter of fact, I didn't know what I was getting. The strange thing was, I remember telling Galaxy that something was coming in the mail. I had no idea what. When it arrived, it was CD. I opened it up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is the pictures from the vault. Not only the pictures from the vault, but it's the corner, the one corner they gave us. And I'm like, what? I still don't understand to this day. I know there's been tons of FOIPAs done on the raid, and these have never came out. I find that really odd. And I don't have an answer for it. So I don't know if that helps clear anything up or not. Oh, I was looking for that. I was going to show you. I actually, when I was in Vegas, Mike asked me about it, and I'm like right there in front of him. I showed him. I put the number in. He goes, "Oh gosh, you know that by heart." I said, "Yeah, I check it all the time." But one time it said something about redactions. I'm trying to find that screenshot of it where it said redactions. No, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, all these pictures. We'd be here forever. There's probably some blackmail um, screenshots on here, I bet. Maybe I should share all those. Not. Shiloh's Bar and Grill. That's when Hammer Time was in town. I should have him jump on here. Okay, let's see. When was this picture taken? March 1st. So this was March 1st. This was taken on March 1st, this screenshot. And it says the FBI's FOIPA program has identified potential responsive information to your request and awaits assignment to a government information specialist. Just what I read you. So I'm still getting the same thing. Let's go down here. Let's keep going. We'll find some more here. Because I took screenshots of a lot of these just so I would have them. Because there for a while I was sending in I was questioning what was going on. And of course, you just get some generic response. Not like they tell you anything that's going on. And they're not going to. It's the FBI. So, oh gosh, here, what do you people think in chat about the Pam video that just broke today? What do you think, Ben? Yes, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in YouTube land. In the Chase community, yes, that's coming up. My grandson's birthday is the 16th. He turned 7. Um, so we just got back from Disney a week and a half ago. We went down when there with the kids and the grandkids, and he rode the Tron ride and loved it. I thought he was going to freak out on it. Heck, I was about to freak out on it, but no, he was just fine. Going on 7 years old, no big deal. But we got him a Tron bike. Well, it's not a Tron bike, but it's black with the rims are blue like Tron, and we bought some blue lights to put around it. So it looks like the Tron bike for the ride at Disney. That's a pretty awesome ride, let me tell you. I think Pam has, so Treasure Warrior says, I think Pam has demonstrated no change to her story. She has stuck to her guns. It compels me to take her claims seriously. Well, I'm talking about the boxes that she's talking about. Like these random boxes that said Forrest Fenn. Where could she have possibly ran into boxes that said Forrest Fenn on them? That's a strange story to me. That's all I'm getting at. I mean, she said she went to Washington, D.C. She came back, um, ran into these boxes. I don't know where she could have been at, where these boxes were at. Oh, did I okay, Mama Q asked, did you request inventory or just the photos? Sorry if you said that earlier. I'm back and forth here. No, I just requested any info, paperwork, photos, documentation for what was the date? June 10th, 2009. Is that right? And that's pretty much it was pretty basic. So I think the first FOIP I didn't narrow it down to that specific day. I'm like, okay, well, let's just go to the specific day. And I even added the address in. The address was in there. Um, yeah, I didn't get any documentation at all. All I received is a CD with the pictures that everybody has seen. So Treasure Warrior says the boxes. I believe this story. I don't understand it. I don't get how it would go down, but she physically went to the Library of Congress, so maybe she was able to obtain those boxes through a process in DC. Yeah, but yeah, that's not really the way she described it, though. I mean, it's possible, but she said she went back and they weren't there. That's what doesn't add up. She went all the way back to the Library of Congress and then they weren't there. That's not the way she describes it. If that maybe that's what she meant. I don't know. Okay, let me keep looking here. I'll find it eventually. Just get the right one. Nope. I just ran into this. Here's another one. It says, "Good afternoon. This is a screenshot from an email that I received from the First Judicial District Court because I was trying to request the gift tax receipt. And it says, because it wasn't part of the paperwork that the whole McCracken case, that's what I was interested in. That was the only thing I was interested in because it gets brought up in the estate um, list. But I reached out to Toby. He said it was never introduced while he was there for the 2 days of the trial. So I just was curious. So I reached out to the First Judicial Court System to find out about the gift tax receipt. And it says, this is what I received back. It says, "Good afternoon. The First Judicial District Court does not have in possession the document requested. You would have to contact the attorney on case, John M. Hickey. Phone number. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let me know." So I didn't call the number for a long time. So this was January 20. Well, I took this picture January 23rd, but it was way before that. Um, anyway, what I found out was when I called and asked for John M. Hickey, um, he retired last year. So then I was like, so how does one go about getting this info? And she goes, well, I guess you'd have to probably go to Carl Summers, but I don't really know. Anyway, thought that was interesting. I think John Hickey was that Zoe's lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was one of Zoe's lawyers. I just ran into that on my phone. So there's a lot of things on here. Red Letter Media, Stoof.com. Anyway, I have tons of stuff. Well, I don't know if I'm going to find it, people. I will eventually, but I could probably find my email quicker. Oh gosh. I know I'm just rambling on right now. Yeah, here's what I received when I asked about I said the document that I'm looking for is the gift tax return that was listed on the estate exhibit list on 4/11/2022. I know it is on the list, but I'm looking to see if there was an actual copy of the document that was presented as evidence and part of the documents. Does copy exist? And I got to know it does not exist as part of. And the other thing is a lot of these court documents when they're either entered or part of the estate's exhibit list, usually the attorney keeps those. And a lot of times if they have a paralegal that works underneath of them, they usually handle all that stuff too. So it's possible if Hickey had a paralegal working, if paralegal was working under Hickey, then maybe that person, the paralegal, would have it. I don't know. I'm sorry, I need to be watching chat. K-Pro. Brian, I have it. I have it if you want it. The amount and social security numbers are redacted, but the rest is there. Well, I heard that you had it. I don't know. And I could have missed it. I don't listen to everything. Pam mentions boxes, plural, at first, then later says box, singular, somewhat inconsistent. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know Pam. I've tried to get her on just to talk about maybe the email, but it's that's for her to share whenever she wants to. I'm not going to force her. I understand that. Yeah, when Hickey retired, everything went to summer. That's what I was told anyway. That's what the person from Hickey's office kind of referenced me to Carl Summer on that. So maybe that's where they're at. I don't know. I didn't bother Carl. I don't go around bothering these people too much. I just ask a question, and if I don't get an answer, that's okay. I move on. Like I said, doesn't hurt to ask questions. Uh, here's another screenshot. This is about the FOIPA request. She said, this person says, I apologize if it sounds as if I'm saying there was no meeting. This is the Yellowstone FOIPA that I did. There was a Zoom meeting on August 17, 2020. We do not have any video or transcript notes of that meeting, which was not initiated by us, and including Sarah Davis, Finn, and a representative for the finder who was unidentified at the time. This information that has previously been made publicly available, meaning all the redacted stuff is what she's talking. Okay, I'll just say she was talking about. But I just kind of laughed when I read that. Like, seriously? You're on official business. And this was a pretty big thing. And you mean to tell me no notes, no record? Yeah, I'm not buying that for a second. Sorry. I mean, the only way that would happen if Forrest had an inside hand with Yellowstone. I mean, no slap on the wrist. Jack didn't have nothing happened to Jack. I mean, come on. It doesn't quite add up. Okay, that's that screenshot. Here's another one from the same person, because I was having an email conversation with this person. It says we can accept Zoom invitations and participate in Zoom meetings, but are not allowed to initiate Zoom meetings. We use Microsoft Teams most of the time. However, we do not have any recordings or notes regarding a meeting on any virtual platform with or regarding Forrest Fenn. And that made me ask about, to clarify that just a little bit more. Mhm. Yeah, I'm trying to find the FOIPA. Let's see. Okay, well, here's part of it. Maybe, okay. It says, thank you for your inquiry regarding the status of your Freedom of Information Act privacy request. A review of your request has determined the following. The request is presently awaiting assignment to a disclosure analysis who will then review the records to determine if any redactions are required pursuant to subsections of Title 5 U.S. Code, Section 552 and 552A. There you go. Why would you need to redact photos? Was it 10 or 11 photos? Was it 10 photos? And yeah, I can't remember now. 10 or 11 photos. Why would you need to redact the photos? You already gave them to me. And if I asked from, and I didn't ask for any information when I did a follow-up FOIA, I said, now that there's black and white pictures, I'm requesting the high resolution color images. And I haven't put in there, they do a little thing on there if you want to do the free, or you can actually add an amount in, pay for them. And I actually said I would pay, I don't know, $50 or $100 or whatever towards it. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's all interesting. So I've never gotten anything. It's been since I turned that FOIA in probably September, early September-ish, if I remember correctly. And yeah, nothing. I don't know. I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to chat. No record is clearly by design. I agree. Lee was on with Brian before discussing the 9 clues video with Carl. Yeah, she did talk to Carl. This has been some time back. I think maybe she even shared that live on a different video. And I'm sorry. Lee and I will try to get better with the whole conversation, but she's a little skittish on the whole Zoom thing, which is, I understand, she has a business that she does off of her computer, and she's always been a little weary of doing chase stuff on her computer. And I'm sure a lot of people are that way. Okay, I will watch back. Yeah, like I said, you can watch back and try to listen to what all Lee said. But like, she is kind of hard to hear because it's over the phone. I thought about trying to get her on the call her from the computer, which I have a new Mac now, which is a lot better than the one I had before. I was always having issues with it. But oh, I want to give a shout out to Greg Brutal Truth. So if you've ever noticed, I just go live. And why I just go live is because I've never been able to figure out. I tried a couple of times to figure out how to set up a up and coming live stream, and I always thought about reaching out to Mike or Ben or somebody else that does that a lot, but um, the other night Greg and I have been talking a little bit here and there. We've kind of become friends, and matter of fact, any of you people are my friend as far as that's concerned. It doesn't matter. I get along with everybody. Um, but I reached out to Greg the other night, and he's like, "Man, what are you calling me? I've been drinking." I was like, "Well, I need your help with setting up the Zoom upcoming Zoom live stream, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you don't know how to do that?" And I'm like, I've I've tried it one time and didn't succeed, and there's got to be some button I'm not didn't select right or something. So him and I the other night, is it Monday night or was it last night? I don't even remember. These days run together for me. It was either Monday night or last night, but we were on Zoom for like 30 minutes before we figured out. It was kind of funny. We were going back and forth, and he's like, "Well, let me see your Zoom window." And I'm like, "How can I share my Zoom window? You're sharing." Yeah, we were going back and forth. It was kind of funny. He goes, "Man, you're killing me. I was having a quiet night, drinking a few beers." It was kind of funny. Okay, let's get to chat. Fun things coming is great confirmation. That's what Shiloh told Lee. So, and trust me, if Lee says it, I trust it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna email Oldwood um, one of these days because, like I said, I do want to. My goal is to have some of Shiloh and David's wood on my floor when we walk in the door. And whatever I choose to pick, I like the octagon ones. Those are kind of cool. But I'm Shiloh's gonna have to sign one of those for me. So whenever I come in, Shiloh's gonna be right there. Okay, what else is going in chat? The video, yes. Okay, Julia is very good at Zooms. Hammer time. I should have, Hammer time. Now that I think about it, Ben's Galaxy didn't jump on. I should have sent you a link. I didn't even think about it. I will, yeah, Greg Brittle Truth, he gets a bad rap, but he's actually a pretty decent. He's a good guy. I mean, like I said, if you call him up, he gave me a rough time for calling him up, but he helped me out. He came through. Oh, Hammer Time just sent me a text. That's pretty funny. I like it. That's pretty cool. So I don't know so any questions, people? I don't know. I mean, there's so many things I could talk about, but it's already been talked about or it's been hashed out. Stoof.com. When I didn't join Discord until January of this year. I was just like, it's, I just don't have the time really to deal with it. And it is distracting at times. So I've got to sometimes just put my dang phone down. But yeah, even at work, sometimes I'm kind of, kind of bored. I've got in between jobs or something and I'm just relaxing and I'll pick up my phone and get on Discord. I don't know. It, and it's easy. So trying to work stoof.com on Discord, oh my gosh. There's a lot of good ideas. I know a lot of good ideas get missed because they're like they're like 10 days in the past, or they could be almost a year now. Some good ideas. And who would know because it's lost. Somebody would have to be really good with note taking, which I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend my time on all that. I'm good at taking screenshots. That's about it. Um, but anyway, I reached out to Bear right off the bat because I was I was like, oh my gosh, this is a freaking nightmare. I don't know how you people do this. Because I could just, you get a thought out there, and next thing you know, 10 other thoughts are already in the list and yours is gone. It's like, I mean, it's sometimes I just do it as amusement now. It's kind of amusement. It's kind of just a little bit of fun, you know. And not to mention, I've met new people. I mean, heck, I met Hammer Time. We became friends. He came to Columbia. We did some disc golf. Of course, he blew me out of the water. But I did find a disc golf though. I did find a disc while we were golfing. So that was kind of cool. As a matter of fact, it almost matches my shirt here, this salmon color. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's a little more orange. But I was like, huh, little luck there. Okay, Brian, now that you believe fun is coming, what is fun? What is fun to me? Oh gosh. Well, it's not really what's fun to me. It's going to be what's fun to Shiloh. I mean, a book? Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, Lee gave her opinion that she didn't think that it was going to be the 9 clues. Um, so maybe a book, I'm assuming. Maybe it's a book that has to do with finding a couple of jars. I don't know. Maybe, possibly. That'd be kind of interesting. Salmon and swine. You're getting into the impossible poem now, says Brian. I don't think the solve for Stoops.com will happen in the Discord chat, but I do think it will come from it. Well, that's pretty interesting. I've never looked at it that way, but I'm just curious. So I know somebody that's on the other Discord because I haven't joined both Discords. I'd figured one is enough. I do know somebody that's on the other Discord, Christy and Mike's Discord, and supposedly nobody really pays attention to Stoof.com over there. Now, I could be wrong. Um, I don't know. I've just taken this person's word that not much is going on with Stoof.com over there. Matter of fact, Mike and Christy don't even really talk about Stoof.com. Um, yeah, a book feels like part of the fun to me. Agree, Shiloh would need to think it's fun, but I also suspect he thinks it would be fun for us too. Well, yeah, if you add the couple of jars in there, I mean, if anybody knows anything about the jars, it's going to be Shiloh. So, yeah, if now maybe the book is going to be about Shiloh's dad, maybe, possibly. Um, maybe their history with the company and how that all came about. It could be. And maybe mix in a couple of jars with that. It's possible. Let's see. Anything else before I get off here? Did I miss any questions? I'm sorry if I missed a question. I'm trying to. So I've got a, I don't know. I'll throw it out there. So I've always thought that the court case with Jamie McCracken did did that so did the Jamie McCracken case come about? To me, it's a case that probably should have been thrown out to start with, in my opinion. But I'm not a judge and I'm not a lawyer. Um, Lee is a lawyer, though. We've kind of discussed that a little bit. Of course, she's under the thing is if you're going to sue the family, good luck. You're not going to get anywhere with that, which I completely agree. Um, where was I going with this? Oh my gosh, I just lost my mind. My train of thought. Somebody help me out there. What was I talking about? Where was I trying to go? Oh, the court case, the Jamie McCracken court case. So McCracken, what do we know about McCracken? That has a that has a hint to Cody Museum, right? I've always wondered if that's something. And then there's this talk of a time capsule. When is that date? 2026? Leah's a lawyer, McCracken case? No, no, no. Lee's not a, no, she has nothing to do with the McCracken, no. Yeah, I agree with that, Treasure Warriors. I can agree with that. But I always thought there is the McCracken um, part of the life, the museum, the Cody Museum. Here's a strange thing. That's one of the places I have not been in Wyoming, and I've kicked my butt for not going there. But yeah, it was like that's I've been to Devil's Tower, the Bighorn Mountains, um, been over to Yellowstone. Yeah, for some reason I didn't. I guess maybe couldn't get it fit in. Is that an excuse? Couldn't fit it in. But yeah, I definitely want to go back to Wyoming. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff to see and do. I've been to Sinks Canyon, made a trip over to there. Um, was on the Wind River Reservation. Um, I think I was actually that was I think I did that for my that was right around my birthday. It was kind of funny because yeah, well, my wife would tell you it wasn't funny because we left the search area and we're driving away. We were probably 3.5 hours away. Spent the night, middle of the night. I'm like, we need to go back. And she looked at me like, what? You have lost your freaking mind. And I'm like, no, I want to go back. And she's like, okay, well, this is going to cost you. Because you know what they say, happy wife, happy life. So yeah, that trip cost me. But anyway, we stopped at the Wind River Reservation and we stopped at the casino. And they treated, I tell you what, it was right around my birthday because I got like a birthday special thing. And they treated me freaking nice. I was like, oh my gosh, that was pretty, I loved that. Sorry. I'm not spacing out. I was reading chat. Sorry. Like I said, there's so many things that we could talk about that they've already been talked about hundreds of times. Um, I mean, yeah, I do have a lot of opinions. You'd have to ask me for my opinions, and I'm just not one to just jump out there and start ram rambling. Am I rambling? I don't think I'm rambling. I thought it was interesting that somebody in Discord brought up it is what it is, Eric's um video. I don't know if you could find it on there. It was pretty interesting. So Eric really messed with me one time because I left so he was talking. So I think it's the video that somebody shared today on Discord, but I'm not 100%. Maybe it's a different one. I don't know. But it was about his sister. And I think he says his sister's name was Marilyn. And I was like, that's pretty cool that your sister's name is Marilyn. My dad's sister is Marilyn. So I have an Aunt Marilyn. And he came back and said something like, and your daughter's name is Brianna. And I'm like, that's creepy because my daughter's name is Brianna. And I was like, wow, this is really weird. Uh, so yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, it was more than just that. I think I mentioned something about how he looked like my dad. Maybe that's what it was. It was either the Maryland comment or maybe I said something about him looking like my dad or something. And then he came back with the whole Brianna thing, and I'm like, okay, that's creepy. I don't know how you know that, but you've been doxing me, Eric. Uh, how about what could answers be if not the 9 clues? Yeah, because if to me, if it was just a book, wouldn't Shiloh just say I'm working on some literature? There's a roundabout way he could say that without I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the UPS driver is going to show up at my front door. I don't know. It's just a joke, people. It's just a joke. Uh, Gabriel's like my mom's name is Marilyn. Great. Everybody knows a Marilyn. Shiloh seems awful confident the 9 clues won't come. Shiloh seems awfully confident the 9 clues won't come out, despite claims of a transcript about a Saw video. Yeah, I do. The whole Saw video, I don't know. It's kind of like Carl talking about there's a video with Cynthia. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't say videos, he says video. Um, but what's interesting, what he said was the pictures of Jack and Forrest were taken from the video, meaning those would have to be screenshots from the video, which why would you take screenshots from the video? That's the way I perceived it. I now somebody can go back and look at that and say, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. But I was pretty sure I watched that several times and I'm like, he says screenshots from the video. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Like you didn't have a phone to take pictures with, you took only video. There's only video, no still shots. I don't know. I thought it was weird. Julie, did Shiloh give us 3 examples and also well, the ring's a good idea. Maybe something to do with the ring. I mean, the emerald ring is sitting on stoof.com because nobody knows about the emerald ring. And where's the dragon bracelet? I think Christy mentioned something about it the other night. I don't know if I caught that though. So, okay, Larry says, after rewatching some videos, I didn't realize Larry Sandell separated us from you and Jill in the fishing bridge photo. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check those photos out. So this picture up here, let me grab it here without knocking anything over. So this is my wife and I. Get the glare off. This is my wife and I at World Series of Finn. What you're talking about, okay, Larry? And funny thing is, Shiloh says, tell Jill and Byron hello from me, F. Well, I don't know how he messed that up. It's Brian. Oh, speaking of which, it's kind of like Shiloh misspelling stoof all the time. Why does Shiloh? That's a good question, Ben, for Shiloh. Why does he keep spelling stoof, Steuf? I think that's something interesting. I'd like to know that. That's a good question. Justin said he no longer owns the dragon bracelet, but not with Amy and not sold when it was asked. It is part of his next project, so couldn't say. Yeah, possibly. Oh, the Byron photo. LOL. How do you know about that? When has Shiloh spelled stew from? Well, how about the Ralph? Do you believe? So here you go. Do you believe the Ralph Taylor email? There's a question for you. Do you believe the Ralph Taylor email where Shiloh tells him not to go out there and search anymore because he spells stoof wrong? I probably have a screenshot of it. Here, let's just find it here. Dun, 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 dun. I think I have it right here. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's back up here. Exit that. Okay. Okay. Inbox. Let me see if I can find it. Email. Do me. Shiloh. Here it is. Screenshot. Is this it? Oh no. Oh well, there's a picture I could share you. I should have shared that earlier. Okay, that's not it. Thought I had it right here. Oh yes, I gotta find it here. Search. Pam Shetron. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me download this and I'll share with you. Okay. Back to chat. Sorry, chat. I'm busy doing something. Let me share this picture first. So this is a picture of Lee's dog that was missing. She almost didn't come on tonight because her dog got lost. So this is Lake. So she's been gone for, I guess, a day and a half, 2 days, something like that, I think she said. So she was ecstatic. And I kept telling her, don't worry, dogs usually come back somehow. Luckily, Lake came back to her. Some lady recognized her because she had put some um she done some recon as far as putting some pictures out and word of mouth. And luckily some lady saw Lake messing with her ducks or chickens or something and geese or something and called her up and said, I've got your dog. She got her dog back. She was glad for that. Okay. I know I'm all over the place, people. Give me a minute. Okay, here's the email. So if I share the email, do you know what I'm talking about? Ralph Taylor email? Share. Okay. Well, there is a little story behind that, Ben. I agree. Um, yeah, I'll share that, not live, but maybe a different time. Says, good afternoon, Ralph. The treasure was found by Jack Stoof, Steuf. There is not, capitalized, a second treasure. I believe that you should stop searching for something that I'm sorry to say is not there. Please do not, capitalize, do anything that would put you at risk or danger. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the email's legit. This was shared from me from Pam. Pam sent this to me. I don't know why she sent it to me, but she sent it to me. I mean, I have my feelings behind that. I don't know if it's something I said on YouTube Live or something, I think it was on one of my videos. I think that's what it was. Maybe I can clear something up. Maybe because Galaxy, when I was talking about the two treasures, because we've talked about the two treasures a lot. I've kind of given up on that, but now we're down to a few jars, which that's down to 2 jars, I guess. So that's interesting. Not to mention stoof.com has to do with twins, twos. That's interesting also. I don't know what it all means. Okay, any other questions? Okay, Hammer Time says, right. RT is all talk. I can imagine he got a reaction somewhere. uh, sounds like an email he must certainly had to make very clear and be very safe when writing. No one talking to Shiloh claims there is a second chest. All we have coming are fun and answers. Yes, Ben, you keep saying fun and answers. Oh, Pam mentioned pirate. See my pirate back here? Captain Jack Sparrow's. That drawing is by Mark S. Brown. Interesting, huh? This gentleman, March of 2020, right at the time, like just days before the pandemic hit us. This gentleman walks in where I work and asks if I could make some copies for him. And I'm like, well, what kind of copies are you talking about? And he goes, well, I'm an artist. And I'm like, interesting. And this is Captain Jack Sparrow. That's Johnny Depp. His art has actually been featured on Tim Taylor, Tim Allen. Oh gosh, what's that show? Tool Time Tim or Home Improvements? Home Improvements. Jeez, messed that up. His art is actually on the wall on Home Improvements. Anyway, he came into work and asked me if I could make some copies. He was trying to sell them around town, around Columbia here. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm hoping to get some good copies and I'll take them to like Target or Walmart and see if they will buy some of them. And then they can turn around and sell them. I'm like, oh, okay. Even though I thought that was a little odd. Anyway, he waited for me to get a couple of good copies made, and I took him up there, and he goes, "Yeah, these look pretty good." He goes, "Can you get me a bid?" And I hollered at my boss, and I was like, "Hey, Myrtle," I said, "This gentleman would like to get a bid on some copies." And she's like, "Yeah, just a second." So they gave him a bid, and I had those copies in my hand, and he got the bid. They did a real quick bid for him because he only wanted like 25 copies of it. And so they handed in the bid. He goes, okay, well, I'll keep this in mind. I'll go to Target first and see if they're even interested. If they're interested, I'll come back. Well, okay. So before he left, he goes, hey, I want those copies. So I handed him the copies and he ripped them up in front of me. And he goes, here, can you throw those away from me? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I was like, he takes his stuff pretty serious. Anyways, I guess you're wondering how I have this one. This was the very first one that I ran that I threw in the trash can. Now, had he not done what he did, I wouldn't have kept that. I would not have kept that picture. But I kept it for the longest time. I've had it since 2020. And just this year is the first time I've ever gotten it out. I tried to contact this guy. Have you ever heard of Tombstone? Yeah, you work for the Vikings? Yeah, I'm a big Vikings fan. Um, anyway, oh, there we go. Yeah, big Vikings fan. Um, but anyway, where was I at? I've lost my train of thought. Oh, Mark S. Brown. So I had this copy since 2020. I never got out. I just got out this year. And I tried to get a contact him, and I found an article online where it discussed that he would hung out in Tombstone, Arizona, not far, kind of south of where you're at, Ben. Um, anyway, I contacted a few people, and they said, well, what you should probably do is call the museum in Tombstone. So I called the museum in Tombstone, and I talked to a lady, and she was actually probably younger. She's like, well, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know any information on him. But if you call back tomorrow, there's a lady here that knows him really well. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so freaking cool. So I waited, called back the next day. Talked to her, and she's like, oh yeah, he comes whenever he's in town. He comes over to our house, and I make fried chicken, and he loves it, and blah 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 blah. I was going on and on. I was like, well, I tell you what, I'm going to give you my email. Please give it to him because I would like to purchase a couple of his pictures. I'd like to get them personally from him somehow. Couple of his drawings. And she's like, I'll see what I can do. Well, I never heard anything. So I told myself I would never share this picture, never have it out, and at least for a couple of years until I gave him time to get a hold of me. Well, there you go. It's one of a kind off of a copier from my work. So maybe he'll run into this and see it, and he'll probably sue me. I don't know. I'll give him a couple $100. I don't know. Real nice little guy. I'll have to, I don't, maybe I can find him. Let me see if I can Google him. He's a really cool character. He reminds you of the Colonel Sanders guy. I know I'm doing a lot of rambling because I don't know what else to talk about. I found it from when I Googled his name, the way I found it was from somebody had shared a Facebook link, a Facebook. You can find his artwork. Uh, Jeez. I found it through somebody's Facebook is where I found him through. Let's see. Ah, here he is. Found him. Okay. So I'll share this on screen. What? No. Okay. Share. Oh no, not my desktop. I don't want to share my desktop. I don't want to do that. Okay, can you all see him? That's Mark S. Brown. You can see he's got all of his artwork, his big binder. That's what he was carrying when he came in to work there. It was so freaking cool. He was quite the character. But you know what? When he left, he said, he goes, I've been to several other printers in your town. He goes, you people were the nicest people I've ran into. I was like, nice, I like it. I like the Route 66 here, 66. Oh, we have fun. The chase follows us everywhere. Okay, people. Now let's see. Let's get back to chat. Anything else? Oh, you're talking about the Vikings? Oh, my signature. Oh, is in the high beams of the stadium somewhere. That would be cool. I haven't visited the new stadium. Matter of fact, I haven't even been to a Vikings game in Minnesota before. When the Rams were here in St. Louis, I did go see the Vikings play. Um, that was probably 2015 or 2014, I'm guessing. I saw the Vikings at Arrowhead, which, oh my gosh, that was so I'm a Chiefs fan. And Chiefs fans, they're not as rowdy as Raider fans, but man, some of them take it pretty serious. And I remember my buddy, he's a big Chiefs fan, and I was a Vikings fan, and he had a friend that was a Vikings fan. I didn't know his friend, but he's like, "I'm going to take you two guys to um, a take you all to the Vikings game." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm up for it. Let's go." So we get to the game, and man, I tell you what, these Chiefs fans were just ragging on us left and right, wouldn't leave us alone. And some lady behind us, luckily the Vikings won. That's all I can say. I don't know if I would have made it out of there alive. But anyway, some lady behind me, about 3 or 4 rows back, just yelling at us all the time. And several times I kept turning around, going, "Mm," like that to her, and she would just give it right back to me. And I finally had towards the end of the game, it was about 2 minute warning. I turned around and I looked at her husband. I said, "Can you control that?" And he goes, "No, man, you're on your own." It's fun. What did I miss? A video has confirmed what? Um, Nothing was mentioned about the 9 clues video. Lee just said that yeah, now you're getting me confused. I want to say that the way she said it was the way he talked, there was not going to be a 9 clues video because she brought it up and said, she goes, "Well, I hope the 9 clues video." She's one of these people that hopes nothing comes out until she finishes her chase. That's the way Lee thinks. Um, she doesn't want to know the solve until she's done with the chase because she says she's not done with the chase. So I think the way um, she made it sound like um, when asked Shiloh about, "Well, I hope you don't release a 9 clues video," she got the assumption that that wasn't going to be it. But I think what you all might be talking about is in your previous video, Brian. We talking about Carl? Okay. Yeah, maybe she did. Yeah, she just talked to Carl, and there is some reference. That's been so long ago, I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at it too. But yeah, she did talk to Carl too about the 9 clues. Jason, I disagree. Don't be saying that. I see you. Got my eyes on you, Jason. Anyway, well, what time is it? It's 8:53. Galaxy just left me hanging. Next week, I've been trying to get Findy Jones on for a little bit. He backed out last week, which ended up actually working out because I ended up being busy anyway. But next week, I'm going to have Hammer Time on for sure. Findy Jones maybe, or the week after. Um, because I'm trying to do one-on-one things instead of having like a group of people. It makes it a little harder to communicate different things, when you got like 3 people. Like I said, I have no problem sitting back and letting people just talk. I have no problem with that. I'm not a great speaker, so get Pam on, please. I've tried to get her on. I'll reach back out to her and see if she's interested in it. Oh no, not Chuck. Uh, Chuck's a decent guy. I mean, he's done a lot of good things for veterans and stuff. So, um, when it comes to the chase, maybe he's a little crazy at times, but that's maybe just his game he plays. I don't know. I mean, when him and Bear were together, they were actually a pretty good team. But I think Chuck Fendi just got tired of, you know how Bear Adam can be, I mean, he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. You just have to learn how to, you know, you got to learn how to just brush it off and not worry about it. So what if you disagree? Just move on, talk about something else. And I know it's hard to do sometimes. Okay, Larry, I will make sure. Do I have a pen down here? Check photos for okay, Larry. I'm going to go back and check that out. Make a note right now. Okay. Well, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Excuse me while I type here. Now I need to scroll back up here. And the 9 clues I recorded it with Carl. And F didn't want to do it. Lots of great detail. Good to know from Shiloh. 9 clues will not be released. Clarify. Yeah. Yeah, I got my eye too. What's the episode of Family Guy where Peter lets the birds build a nest in his beard? Good question, because I don't watch much Family Guy. Maybe that's not a good thing, but uh, I'm sure that's directed at Ben, perhaps. Let's see. I need to scroll up here for OK Larry's comment. Well, guys, I don't have much to offer. Oh, here we go. Larry Sandell, he was interesting character. Whatever happened to Larry Sandell? Does he have a handle that I'm not aware of? Who was the Tony Hinman? Um, he was the one that gave the necklaces away. Wasn't that Tony Hinman? Isn't that right? We've lost a lot of people in the chase, more than you realize. Bobby D, I never got a chance to meet him. Um, you know, there were several of them that got stuck in Yellowstone in traffic or something happened, and they didn't make it back to West Yellowstone in time for the shindig. Um, but I didn't get a chance. Bobby D was one of them. Sam Searcher Sam, if I remember right. I don't even know if Sam Searcher Sam is even around anymore. Um, but I've just had more fun just meeting you people. Just interacting, whether it's good or bad sometimes. I mean, most of the times, trust me, I brush stuff off. I mean, Hooli even called me Jamie McCracken in Discord, accused me of being Jamie McCracken in Discord. I mean, come on. I'm like, really? You wanted to go there? You went from somebody to Jamie McCracken. And I'm not Granny, just so you all know, I'm not Granny, just because I mispronounced Vinetti's instead of, it's supposed to be Vinetti's, but I pronounced it Vignetti's one time. So yeah, it would have been pretty cool to have met Bobby Deans. Um, Greg Dark. I mean, I remember him and I worked on, I mean, there was a bunch of us that worked a lot on Fandango. That's how I kind of met Greg. Greg Keller is his name. Yes, Benedis, Italiano. Sam, USA, China. I met him for the first time, and I met Nemo for the first time at World Series of Finn. So for all you people out there, you don't know somebody, it's good to put faces with these people. So that's that. It was. I just had a blast. There was, matter of fact, there was no hardly any drama that I heard in World Series of Finn. Matter of fact, I tried to create one, but it didn't work. Go figure. Leave it to me. Somebody said something here I missed. Bobby D was really cool. Yeah, I wish I would have got to meet them, but they got stuck in Yellowstone. Water's only to my water's only to my knees, Ben. No need to hold my breath. Hmm. Yes, nomadic. We met too. We sat next to each other. That was pretty cool. Matter of fact, you were no, you're not in that picture, but man, you're close to being in that picture. You're on my side in that picture. Yeah, it was nice meeting you. So yeah. Brian in the party bus, closest to the stripper pole. Yeah, I was closest to it, but I wasn't on it. Hmm. Now, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I think it would have been great if Copper Dan got up there on the stripper pole. That'd been funny. I would have definitely got pictures of that. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. So I hear you guys are talking about doing it in February next year. Um, I don't like cold weather, but I tell you what, I'm up for it. I would do it even if it's, well, 20 below. I don't know if I'd go there or not. Might as well stay home at 20 below. Anyway, people, I was just looking at chat. Jeep Girl, I met you too. That's right. You won one of the Tosinga games. I sent it out to you. Alex, I never heard from Alex. I sent his game out too. I haven't heard from Alex at all. I don't know if anybody knows Alex. I can't remember what his last name is. Um, I don't remember what his name is. Anyway, he got a game too. I sent out to him. Yeah, Fremont Street was a lot of fun. Yeah. Ben doesn't like beards. Well, you know who doesn't like beards is your wife, Ashley. Shiloh said, when I sent you that razor, um, Shiloh did say you could cut it short, but he didn't say you could cut it all the way, right? Wasn't that the message? Well, Jason, if it's a party bus, it's going to have a pole. Sorry. That's just part of it. I did not see Shiloh's note to you, but I heard it on your live that's the week I was on vacation, so I missed it. But I watched it like after we got back from vacation and I seen where you shared it, but I can't recall everything that was said on it. Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I told him, um, on eBay on when he messaged me and I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he needs a beard kit more than he does a razor. Okay, everybody. Later. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate everybody. I love all you guys. It's been a pleasure to meet any of yous. So if anybody wants to come on and join me sometime, feel free to reach out to me. Um, like I said, I'm pretty sure I know I'm having hammer time on next Wednesday night. Um, maybe Jason, if you want to jump on with me next week for a little bit. Um, so yeah, anybody wants to. Here's the other thing. I tried to get scrapbook started. If anybody wants to just talk about a scrapbook, hit me up. I'm all ears. I'm whether it's something that you thought Forrest was speaking to you through, that's okay. I'm interested in talking about the scrapbooks. I always thought the scrapbooks were I got into it late in 2019 and next thing you know, they had all these scrapbook dumps. At first, I didn't even know what a freaking scrapbook was until I was like, holy crap, look at this. This is pretty interesting. It was, yeah. Anyway, um, be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun. And I love all you. Take care and have a good week. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Um, yeah, it's pretty simple. It's that simple. And that's coming from stoof.com.